Yeah, I would say that if they raise the tax rate, they're owning the federal government's owning a larger percentage of business. I'm not saying what the tax rate is, but we have a Class A stock and a Class B stock. The U.S. government owns what I call the Class AA stock, and it's a very special stock. They get a percentage of the earnings, but they don't own the assets, and they don't vote on who gets to run the place or anything else. But if the government wants to take, when I was first starting, they used to take 52%, the federal government did, of corporate profits, and they've got, what would you pay to own the government's Class A, AA stock? If there was a public issue by the U.S. Treasury and they said this vehicle, given a name like SPAC or something even sexier, and all it will do is it owns the future tax payments of Berkshire Hathaway forever. And how much is that stock now worth? And it'll pay a big cash dividend, and they'll go up as we retain earnings and build the company and everything else. Well, it's worth more if the tax rate is 25% or 28% or 52% than at 21%. They own a special stock. And when people talk about how it all gets passed through the customer and everything, in the utility business, it actually does. That's a special case. But it doesn't in most of our businesses. I mean, it's a corporate fiction when they put out statements about the fact that this will be terrible for all of you people. We pay more taxes. It hurts the Berkshire shareholders if rates are higher, and that may be quite appropriate. But to say otherwise is just, it doesn't make any sense. I would love to see the government actually issue. They could have, I mean, they could set up a company, just call it the Berkshire Hathaway Tax Company, and it would take all the taxes we paid every year. How much would they be able to sell that asset for? They talk about unfunded obligations of the government. That's an unreported asset of the federal government. They own part of Berkshire, and they get to determine how much. I mean, it's an interesting question.